Am I the meanest?
Pun's drunk.
Am I the prettiest?
Pun's drunk.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this time?
Pun's drunk.
Well, who am I?
Pun's drunk.
Who am I?
Pun's drunk.
I can't hear you.
Pun's drunk. AKA Mr. Moo Woo Shot himself.
Of Harlem.
What up, what up, what up, what up? Y'all already know this is Pun, Drunk, Boxer, a.k.a. Mr. Moo Shot himself, a.k.a. El Adobo, a.k.a. El Sazón, a.k.a. El Maldito Borracho. Dímelo, mi gente, que lo que? Ladies and gentlemen, just another day in the sport of boxing. I'm going to call this Wednesday, but then the drama hour. Then tomorrow is Happy Hour Thursday. The drama continues between Canelo Alvarez and Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? We got upcoming fights to look forward to, but there's some dramas, you know what I'm saying? We got Canelo Alvarez, Triple G. You already know that's going to be the trilogy, September 3rd, September 17th. We don't know what's happening with the Jake Paul and Tommy Fury. I know a lot of people be like, oh, man, what you talking about that fight? But the undercard is Amanda Serrano, and I want to talk about that as well. Why is Amanda Serrano after the fight with Katie Taylor, one of the biggest fight in the sport of boxing, not only one of the biggest fight in the sport of boxing, but one of the biggest fight in the history of the sport of boxing. And you think they sold out Madison Square Garden. You would think that it don't matter who she fight, that's it. She's going to get her main event. She's going to get her money. But she still co-main event to the Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. After all of that, that this is going to be the fight Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano is going to propel women boxing, and now they're going to get their respect. But for me, that's backwards. I don't know, man. I got to talk about that as well. Y'all know how I've been hype about it too. Con in the building, what's good, man? Eric in the building, Jill Lopez in the building, Kenneth in the building, what's good, man? Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen, smash the like button. Dímelo. He said, Queen Ryan, ungrateful to the whole team, so no Canelo shouldn't punch. Oh, man. And I'm giving the question. Teapot in the building. What's good, Teapot? One of the members of Punch Run Boxing. Y'all already know if you want to become a member. Y'all already know, man. Join and become a member to Punch Run Boxing. Y'all already know the man that delivers the high octane boxing talk like no other. Coach Anthony going to join me in a bit. Raul in the building. What's good, man? Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Smash the like button. What's good with these mediocre numbers? Say you want to become a member, man. You want to become a member, man. La ofrenda. Saludo. Facts only here. Yes, sir. And I've been thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I see Canelo Alvarez and Ryan Garcia going back and forth. I see it. Dímelo, Joey. Dímelo. And I understand it. You know what I'm saying? I find it like a little petty by both of these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, because their friendship or whatever, their friendship was out in the public. And it's funny because, well, it's unfortunate that when you rocking with the people, you give them all the respect. They're the greatest. This is the best, one of the best young fighters and stuff like that. And then when you go your separate ways, it's like you ain't nothing. You haven't done nothing. You ungrateful. All this. It feels like a bit of marriage. Like, you know what I'm saying? It feels like Kanye and Kim Kardashian, you know what I'm saying? Playing out in front of the whole world. You know? If I'm with you, if we on the team, man, you all this and that. If you're not, you ain't nothing. That's what Canelo Alvarez said about Ryan Garcia. He ain't done nothing. Ryan Garcia ain't do nothing. Then that victory with Eddy Reynoso and Ryan Garcia versus what's his name again? Luke Campbell. That was nothing either. Then the win for both of them ain't nothing. You see, that's what it is, man. When you throw him under the bus, you could also throw your friend under the bus as well. But I believe that this is the Eddie Reynoso and Ryan Garcia subject. This is Ryan Garcia and Eddie Reynoso's business. And I understand Canelo Alvarez, you already know, best friends with Eddie Reynoso. That's his road dog. That's his everything. You know what I'm saying? But I think that Eddy Reynoso should be fighting his battle, because when it comes to Ryan Garcia, when it comes to allegedly Ryan Garcia and Henry Garcia, Canelo Alvarez stated that they owe Eddy Reynoso money. I think this is trainer and former fighter business right here. Bust out a tequila punch. Y'all already know tomorrow's Happy Hour Thursday season. Damn, Cesar, tú quieres que yo me pongo? Yeah. Huh? Let your punch drinking water. Is this a fake video? Hey, yo, tomorrow's Happy Hour Thursday. Diablo, usted quiere que yo beba todos los días, eh? Huh? Y'all don't want me to live, man. Y'all want me to look like a lizard, man. Y'all want my skin looking like Dennis Rodman? Damn, I thought y'all cared about me, the urge, man. I thought y'all cared about your boy, man. What's good, man? Talk about the potential fight. Who Gervonta Tank-Davis going to be fighting next? I already dropped the video yesterday, and I talked about it a little bit in the live yesterday about, Gervonta Tank-Davis, whether he has faced great challenges or not, is your favorite fighter. You know? Teofimo Lopez going to be fighting Pedro Campa August 13th, Las Vegas, out here in Jersey in his camp, working hard, working very, very hard. Hey, yo, Teofimo Lopez right now is at 148 pounds right now. The dude is ready. He ain't get bloated and just while everybody's talking shit about him and things of that nature. You think he just, oh, man, he ain't going to be the same. That's it. I hear the whispers. Now Teofimo Lopez in the gym, hungry, isolated. About to make his 140 reign come true very soon. It's going to be taking over the 140-pound division. I got Teofimo Lopez beating everybody in the 140. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean he ain't going to have a hard time. That doesn't mean I don't see 50-50 fights. I do. I just believe in Teofimo Lopez, and the takeover is alive. And I'm telling you, man, this dude is on his grind right now. Focused, better than ever, isolated. He's like an animal in a cage right now. He said it's Team Canelo, not Team Reynoso. Canelo is in charge of everything. Okay. All right. See, I'm just asking a question. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the answers. I don't want people to be like, oh, yo, here we go, punch again. Here we go with the Canelo and the Eddy and the Ryan. No. I'm just saying. Now, is Canelo Alvarez profiting off the relationship of Eddy Reynoso and Ryan Garcia? Did he profit? Did he put money? Did he invest in Ryan Garcia? I never heard that. Because even when Canelo Alvarez said he owes Eddy Reynoso money, he didn't say he owe us money. He didn't say Ryan owes me money. He said Ryan and his father owes Eddy money. Now, when it comes to that, Eddy Reynoso got a lip. And I think, in my opinion, don't you think? Let me see. Put yourself in their shoes. If somebody want to time in on your business and stuff like that, I think there's a place and time, Yeah, you could. Hey, I mean, Eddy Reynoso should be saying that. Bam Rodriguez is one of the favorite young fighters. What you think, Punch? Yeah, man, he good. Hey, yo, smash the like button. What's good, y'all? Oh, my God, man. What kind of fucking respect y'all got for your boy, bro? Oh, man. Hold on. Hold the fuck on, man. Hey, yo, man, smash the like, bro. I ain't staying here for no fucking 30 motherfucking people, yo. Come on, y'all. Smash the motherfucking like, bro. I don't like this disrespect, man. I put hard work in this shit. Come on, man. Come on, man. Y'all slacking out here, bro. I see it as a disrespect. Motherfucker want to come out here when motherfuckers want to talk shit about everybody. Motherfucker want to support bitch ass motherfuckers that talk shit about boxers and shit like that. Come on, man. Where's the fucking support? Let's go. Smash the like. I can't wait to what the 100 smash the likes. Tell him, Joey, man. Hey, yo, man. And do it in your own social media platform as well, man. And tell them, yo, Punch is live right now. Share it on your Facebook. Share it in your Instagram. For real. Tired of this disrespect. I'm gonna cut this live off right quick. This ain't jumping to 100. I'm out of here, bro. This ain't jumping to 100 in like 10 minutes. I'm out. I'm good doing videos, man. Congrats on the 40K. Good looking now. Good looking now. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. It's simple. You follow or see a video, smash the like. Exactly, man. Exactly, man. We're gonna be talking about Anthony Joshua. Hey, yo, Anthony Joshua, man. I did a video, man. I feel like Anthony Joshua, man, is good enough to make adjustments to beat Alexander Usyk. But as soon as he took the selfie, bro, not again, man. Come on, Anthony Joshua, with that soft ass ish, man. What's good with that? Like, where's good? Like, you'll be a tough guy to some young college students and ish like that when they was talking ish about you. You ran up on them. You went to the apartment. You ran up on them. The dude that whooped your ass and took your belts, you want to take selfies with. Come on, Anthony Joshua. Come on, AJ. What's that soft-ish, man? Oh, man, that dude just whoop your ass, man. He took your belts, man. The little man embarrassed you. And you want to take another selfie? Come on, AJ. I'm rooting for this guy too, man. I'm thinking he's gonna, become a three world champion, a heavyweight champion and stuff like that. Do something that Muhammad Ali did or something like that. Come on, man. AJ, what's good with that soft that? Man, look, I'm good. I'm good with humbleness, and all. Man, man, this is boxing, man. This is life or death. See, sometimes I don't know, man. That just threw me off, man. I think I'm going to change my whole prediction. Just because of the selfie. AJ backwards. Facts, man. What you doing taking a selfie for, man? The hell you doing taking a selfie for? Bam Rodriguez is a different animal. He's nothing like Canelo avoiding fight. Huh? Bam Rodriguez, I said, is a different animal. Ding, 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 ding. Agree. He's nothing like Canelo avoiding fighters. Bam wants all the smoke. Canelo avoids the smoke. Get the fuck out of here. Canelo avoids the smoke. Where you get this bullshit from? Help me out, Jose Luis Hernandez. Where you get this? He avoids the smoke. What the accomplishment that this man has attained? What do you mean avoid the smoke? Do you know when you were the top guy, whoever you pick, you going to avoid somebody? Huh? What is this avoiding of the Canelo avoiding of the smoke? Are you nuts, man? What's good with people out here? Like, yeah, do you know that if he retired right now, man, the dude is a Hall of Fame already. Canelo Alvarez is a walking Hall of Fame. What kind of smoke is he avoiding? It looks like everybody else is avoiding some smoke. I don't understand people's shit for real. I don't understand. Canelo is avoiding smoke. What smoke? Isn't he 168 pound undisputed? Is he undisputed at 168 pounds? Was it Triple G, the pound for pound, the boogeyman in the sport of boxing at one time? Didn't he fought on back-to-back? What kind of smoke are you talking about, my brother? Please help me out. What smoke are you talking about? What smoke? Please help me out, brother. Don't leave, man. What's good, man? What's good? Oh my God, man. It's like haters keep dreaming of it. I'm saying they be having wet dreams of Canelo, bro. Man, this fight is garbage. The only reason why I wasn't a fan of the fight is not garbage. The reason I'm not a fan of the fight is because I wanted to see Triple G fight and unify and pursue of becoming undisputed, just like I wanted to see Triple G versus Demetrius Andrade, Triple G versus Jamal Charlo, instead of chasing Canelo Alvarez just like everybody else is chasing Canelo Alvarez. Dímelo Guido, just like everybody else chasing Canelo Alvarez. How put it this way, can you make it make sense, like, to me, or do the math? How do you avoid the smoke yet have beaten and have earned 9 belts, like, since 2015? Like, how do you avoid the smoke and still be 4-division world champion? How do you avoid the smoke and still be undisputed? How do you avoid the smoke? What kind of smoke is there for Canelo Alvarez? Let's be real, let's be honest. What kind of smoke out there? David Benavidez. Sure. And if he beats David Benavidez, let's be honest. Let's just be really, really, really honest. Let's just be really, really honest. What's good, Rider of the Storm? What's good, my brother? Rider of the Storm. Good looking out with a super chat, my brother. Always supporting, man. God bless you, man. God bless you. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, brother. Take this. Good looking now. Who's in the building? Coach Anthony, world-renowned trainer. Great highlight with Raymond Ford out there, man, during the Bam Rodriguez Rumverside card. What's good, brother?
Yeah, that's tough, man. That boy Ray, not Ray, but we're gonna talk about Ray, I'm sure. But Bam Rodriguez, man, I'm a freaking fan. I'm a fan, boy. That kid is really, like, phenomenal. Like, one of the best young boxers I've seen, in a long time, man. Bam Rodriguez. Big shout out to him.
Hell yeah, man. He does it all, bro. Got the good footwork, implements the jab, works behind the jab, got good powers in both hands, southpaw. And it's not like he's the fastest. He's not the most powerful, but he just quick, and it's just timing. His timing is very, very, very is good at his age, and he's challenging himself. Not even the elite fighters right now is challenging himself like he is challenging himself. Like, he didn't have to fight Cuadra. He didn't even have to fight Rumverside.
Yeah, man, he got some great angles. I'm very impressed with him, man. I watched him fight, man. I'm very impressed with him. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he's the truth for sure.
Tell me about the victory with Raymond Ford, man. Tell me you out there, man, putting the pressure up. You know what I'm saying? Do your Emmanuel Stewart. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, my man, keep your head in the game. Keep your head in the game plan. Tell me, because you've been doing it for a long time, but I believe this is the first time that you're the head coach and you're getting that type of shine. And I feel like, man, congratulations, because you deserve that shine, man.
Well, first and foremost, big shout out to Coach Reg, because Reggie, who, if a lot of people haven't seen him with Ray, is the heavy set black guy that's with Ray most of the time. He's been with Ray since the beginning of his professional career. So we got to give him his credit. We got to give him his props. He's the one who's been working with Ray all this time. And also, he's the one who asked me to come in and help him. So he's been asking me now for quite a few fights to come in and be part of Ray. And I've known Ray since he was still an amateur, and I've helped him from time to time. Like, this area in the Philadelphia, South Jersey area, is like all the coaches really done helped I done helped Stephen Fulton. I done helped a lot of guys that you see fight, but I'm not in the corner, right? I've helped so many over the years and even now. And So Reggie, what I'm saying, is the one who's really been working with Ray. But in his last 3 performances, he's kind of had like a little bit, it hasn't been the best, right? And that's when I decided to really come in and help out Reg, because Reg was like, yo, bro, I could really use your help. And I came in and I helped, and me and Reg worked with him together like a team. And then the night of the fight is when Reggie actually asked me to work the corner, and said, "Yo, I want you to work the corner. Ray responds really well to you." So that's what I did, man. And it was a lot of fun, man. It was good. Ray listened very, very well. There was a few moments in the fight that if you go to my Instagram, Coach Anthony, for those who don't follow me, you'll see me kind of using some vulgar language and stuff. And I had to wake him up because there was moments he was laying on the ropes, and that was not part of the plan. The plan was to stay off the ropes, keep the fight in the center of the ring. And I would say 95% of the fight, that's what he did. And he looked phenomenal.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Yeah, he did good. He did good. Right out of the storm, good looking out with the super chat, my brother. He said, Coach Anthony, what is it about Bam Rodriguez that you like the most, and what do you see he needs to improve on? Thank you for your time. Good looking out, Ryder.
Honestly, bro, I'm gonna be honest. Bam Rodriguez, I didn't see too many flaws, in this fight. See, I haven't been watching Bam that long. I've seen the highlight. I see the highlight where he threw the right hand. I think he threw a straight left hand, and then he switched, and then he threw the uppercut. It was like a super nasty highlight that he did, where he did a switch move. And I was like, yo, that kid is nasty. So then when we were fighting, they said that he was the main event. I said, oh, I'm excited to see him actually have a full fight. And what impressed me about him is the way he utilizes his angles, for one. He has probably the best angles I've seen, even in my opinion, better than Lomachenko. He does things, he works the angles really, really well. Another thing that I see that he does well is he's still able to use a lot of upper body movement, like bending of the waist and stuff, but he does it with his hands up. So you see a lot of guys who's really good at tilting the waist and shoulder rolling. They're really good with upper body movement. But Bam does it with his hands up, which is a little uncomfortable to do. If you're a boxer, you'll know what I'm talking about. But he does it very well. So I'm impressed with him all across the board. I haven't seen really too many flaws on him. I think that he's up there with any top fighter right now, skill-wise. You could compare him to Shakur. You can compare him to, Devin Haney. You can compare him to Canelo. You can connect when it comes to actual skills and talent, without a doubt.
Shit, man, that was a lot of praise right there, Coach.
Nah, man, I'm just giving it where it's due, man. I mean, listen, you got it. Some guys pass the eye test, and me as a coach, I see the stuff that he's doing, and I'm super impressed. I mean, how many guys do you know working the angles like works? I mean, you give me 3 guys that does the angles the way he does them. You know what I'm saying? And he has solid defense. From what I've seen. I mean, obviously, I don't know all the competition that he's fought, but the guy that he just fought was apparently a big puncher, and he wasn't able to do much with him. So his defense is solid, his grit is solid, his offense is really good. He's a very good fighter, man. You got to give him his props.
No, I'm getting hell yeah. He got so much props that I even think that, man, he can move up and actually fight. Way that would be a good fight.
They'll move up to what?
To 118. I'm just that's just
Robert Garcia. They said that they were going to bring him back down to 112, which I don't see why. He looked very comfortable at, I guess it was 115. He fought this fight, or I don't know.
Yeah.
And he looked very comfortable there. I mean, I don't see a purpose to bring him back down unless there's a big name in that weight class. That I don't follow the weights that low, to be honest. So I don't know who's there, but I think that he's anywhere in that little realm right there, because he is a small guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't see him going too far up. But I think he competes with anybody in this era, skill for skill. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen a few people in the chat saying you can't compare him to the big names. And of course, you can't compare him maybe resume-wise, but as a coach, me looking at the things he's doing, I'm seeing A plus quality work in that ring from that kid. So don't be surprised if he's the next, Chocolatito, whatever one of these little guy superstars that you've heard of. Matter of fact, he's already that. If you ask me, he's already there.
I said that Bam Rodriguez is like Chocolatito and Estrada had a baby.
Yeah.
He's that because I don't even think he should go back down in weight, in my opinion. I think he looked a very highly impressive. Made a statement versus Rumvasai that I I only see him moving up or staying in his weight. You know what I'm saying? But of course, he's only 22 years old. Nothing to rush. You don't got to rush him. But the rate that he's going is like I don't see him. I only see him versus. You know what I'm saying? I only see challenges for him versus the elites like Estrada or like Chocolatito. Because I don't see
Yeah,
nobody beating him in
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
112.
Like he's already there. Like, you know, I mean, all you got to do is use your eyes. You know, I was saying Canelo was one of the most skillful fighters way before he fought anybody good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some guys pass the eye test. You just have to be able to see these things. You know, you can see it in Shakur. You can see it in Canelo. You can see it in this kid right here. You could see it in any of these top guys that are still around. You can see it in Jaron Boots Ennis. Some guys just pass the eye test. You can see it in Raymond Ford. You know, you see what I'm saying? You can see that these guys are good fighters, and you know, that's where it is.
Yeah, man. Oh, I was talking about that the other day about the eye test. Matter of fact, I was talking about it yesterday because as you can see, Mike Tyson, Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez, their favorite fighter is Gervonta Tank Davis. And a lot of people want to critique that Gervonta Tank Davis still hasn't had those challenging fights. You know what I'm saying? But he's passing the eye test so much that the relevant voices of boxing, when I'm talking about, there's legends in the game, but if you talk about the most relevant voices of the cash cows, Mike Tyson, Floyd, Oscar, Canelo, that's still active, but is that Gervonta Tank Davis is their favorite fighter? Like, shit. Gervonta Tank Davis don't even need to fight a challenging fight so he could capture the eyes or the imaginations of those legends. How good is Gervonta Tank Davis to you?
I think Gervonta Davis is very good. Do I think he's beatable? Yes. But do I think he's very good? Absolutely. I mean, listen, when he fought the Isaac Cruz, you know, he had a rough fight. Some people thought he lost. I personally thought he won a very close fight. And we are now seeing how good Isaac Cruz is. Now Isaac Cruz is, you know, being looked at as a very dangerous opponent. You see what I'm saying? So I just think that yes, some guys pass the eye test. Gervonta Davis has power. He has good enough boxing skills to compete with anybody skill for skill boxing. So he's a dangerous fighter. I mean, and anybody who can knock you out at any moment in the fight is a threat and is always going to be a fan favorite because people love knockouts.
Facts, man. A lot of things that happen in the sport of boxing. Now, let me give you, you see the thumbnail, you know what I'm saying, I have, because there's some drama with Canelo Alvarez, Eddy Reynoso, Ryan Garcia. You as a coach, because I've heard several coach that they have done this. Now, this is just alleged. Canelo Alvarez stated that Ryan Garcia owes Eddy Reynoso money. Now, that's his former trainer. I've heard in the past, more than several coaches have stated that fighters after a fight, they don't pay them. They forgot to pay them. They do them dirty and things of that nature. Is that common? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would you do if I said that's Canelo Alvarez shouldn't time in on that on that subject because that's Eddy Reynoso and Ryan Garcia's business. But what do you feel about what do you feel about that, man? Allegedly that Ryan Garcia owes Eddy Reynoso money.
I mean, it's possible. There's obviously some tension between those guys, and typically, whenever there's tension, it's because there's some money involved. I mean, in these situations, so I'm pretty sure that there is a money situation. But then again, this is alleged. I can't accuse anybody of owing anybody money if I don't know the situation. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. It's happened to the best of them. I mean, I think it's happened to me. I've had fighters not pay me. You know what I'm saying? So it happens in this sport. Unfortunately, trainers don't get contracts that really protect them in any way. So, you know, unfortunately, boxing is one of those things where the trainer has to work off of a handshake and hope that the person that he's working with is honorable. And a lot of these fighters, unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, they're not honorable. And I don't know if Ryan Garcia is one of those guys, but if he is, you know what I'm saying, that's a bad thing because the word spreads quick, man. You know what I'm saying? The word in the sport spreads quick. You know, I've heard rumors of many fighters, and I'm not going to mention their name, that, you know, bounce from trainer to trainer and don't pay or whatever. And now nobody wants to work with these guys. So, yeah, it's very possible, without a doubt.
Yeah, man. So I wanted to take your take because you a trainer yourself, and you also said it happened to you, and it seems like it's common. It's unfortunate, but it's common. You know what I'm saying? We can't neglect. You know what I'm saying? As beautiful at a sport that we love this sport, we love the art of the sport, but this sport is very, very ugly and very snakish at the same time. You ain't gonna tell the people who ain't pay you, my brother. Wait, let's put it out. Let's put him out in Front Street, Coach. Who ain't pay my boy, Coach Anthony, man?
I've had it happen to me early in my career, and then you know, it got fixed though. It got fixed later, to put it that way. It got fixed later, but initially, I didn't get, you know, taken care of, and but I didn't look at it as anything because I was still coming up in the game, and I was just happy for the opportunities and stuff like that. So I made the best out of it, even though for some people that would have been a deal breaker. You know, a lot of coaches walk away from boxing after things like that happen to them. But me, I've always been a go-getter. I've always been a hustler. So I always figure out a way to monetize regardless if a person does me wrong. And I feel like I've always got blessed afterwards, even better. Every time a fighter's ever did me wrong, or a fighter and me done fell out over something, because I always keep my end of the bargain. So if I always end up getting blessed. And if you look at through my career, you'll constantly see me grow and progress and move forward. I haven't moved backwards. So I just think when you do the right thing and you're honorable, good things happen to you, man. So you just got to keep going.
Shit, being honorable and morals in boxing, I don't think there's a lot of that left, brother.
I mean, look, man, there is. I just think that you just got to know who you're dealing with, and you also got to you gotta know who you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know you're dealing with somebody who has a foul reputation and you decide to still work with them, I think that's on you at this point for you to be surprised if they jerk you at the end. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should already know. It's like the streets. You know what I'm saying? If you're dealing with somebody who you know in the streets is a killer, you know what I'm saying? You got to keep your guard up. You can't think that he won't kill you, right? You got to be like, yo, man, I know what kind of dude I'm dealing with. So, you know what I'm saying? Even though I'm going to deal with him, but, you know what I'm saying, from an arm's distance or whatever, if you decide to deal with a person with that kind of reputation. But you can't be surprised if he do you dirty, you know what I'm saying? So I just think boxing's the same way. Boxing's very similar to the streets, you know what I'm saying? It's a cutthroat business, but only the strong survive, like they say. And if you're built for it, it can be a very good business. But you got to take some good's going to come with the bad. You're going to get some bumps and bruises along the way. It's just part of the game.
Facts. That's it's just the street, man. You got to live it. You got to survive it. It is what it is. We got Canelo Alvarez going to be facing Triple G. Now, personally, me, I'm like, I wasn't too much of a fan of the trilogy. I seen it twice. I did pick Canelo Alvarez in the second fight that he beat Triple G. The first fight could go either way. But I wanted to see Triple G unify the titles with Demetrius Andrade or with Jamar Charlo. I feel like everybody is chasing Canelo Alvarez. Now, I also felt that Canelo Alvarez should have gone straight with the rematch with Bivol. And people will say, nah, he's small and things of that nature. And which one? I saw Canelo Alvarez. He is short, yo. I ain't think Canelo Alvarez was that short. I ain't think he was that short. But I said that Canelo Alvarez is one of the all-time greats. I give him the benefit of the doubt that he could go back to the drawing board and make adjustment, and probably could have a better outing or probably beat Bivol. What do you thought about that fight? And do you think that he could cut? Do you think he could beat Bivol in the rematch, and how?
Yeah, I think he could beat Bivol in a rematch. I think he would have to approach the fight totally different. I think that he underestimated Bivol. He overestimated his punching power. And I just think that his approach was that I was just going to go in there and bomb him out of there because he keeps that high guard, right? He locks up, you know what I'm saying? He kind of does the winky right, and he And you know, if you're a big puncher, you feel like you could break around that guard. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, he found out real quick that Bivol's guard is very solid. So if he wants to beat Bivol, he's going to have to be a little bit more. He's going to have to take it back to some boxing skills. He's going to have to utilize a jab. He's going to have to stay away from trying to knock him out with every single punch. He's going to have to pace himself. I think that he looked okay in the first half of the fight. I think it was the second half of the fight that he really looked gassed out, and he didn't look like he can keep that pace anymore. And that's when Bivol really started to pick it up. And I think that Bivol knew that. You know, he has a tendency of gassing out late. I mean, look at the other fights that he's had in the past with Triple G, where, you know, he'll look good in the first half, and in the second half, all of a sudden, he doesn't look as great. And it's because he throws so many hard punches. And when you're throwing punches with that much force, you almost have no choice but to get tired. And if he wants to beat Bivol, he's going to have to become a good, smaller fighter. He's going to have to take a page out of Floyd Mayweather's book. You know, everybody said how much he learned from the Floyd Mayweather fight. And then as soon as he fought Bivol, you know, what happened to that? You know, I've been telling guys for a long time that, you know, Canelo was really good before he fought Floyd. When he fought Floyd, he looked ordinary. And then after he fought Floyd, he looked good all over again. And then he looked great. And now he looks ordinary when he fights a guy like Bivol, right? So at the end of the day, it's like, you got to give credit where it's due. Floyd Mayweather deserves his flowers for how easily he beat Canelo. It wasn't that Canelo was just a young fighter. It was that Floyd Mayweather was a fantastic boxer, and he knew how to neutralize a big puncher and a bigger fighter. And Canelo needs to learn how to neutralize the bigger fighter, being the smaller fighter, and using the advantages that a smaller, faster fighter has, and stop trying to fight like the bigger guy. He thought he was going to be the bigger man, the bigger puncher, and it backfired on him. You know what I'm saying? And that was a prime example. So he would have to switch a lot of things: a good jab, skills, defense. All these things are going to have to come into play. Feints. He's going to have to be a little more mobile on his feet. And I don't know if he could do that right now at this point, but that's what he's going to need to do to beat Bivol.
I think, to be honest, I think he could do that. As a matter of fact, the fight that people critique him the most, other than the Mayweather fight, the fight that people critique him the most was the first Triple G fight. But the first Triple G fight to me was when I said, this guy has evolved. I think the reason why people was frustrated with Canelo Alvarez because Canelo Alvarez showed foot movement. He was moving. He was in the outside. He was, you know what I'm saying, on the back foot, fighting off the back foot and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? And I said, when I was watching that fight, I remember I said, hey, yo, he's taking a page out of Floyd Mayweather. But the thing is, people were the build up to the fight was this Mexican style fighting. And of course, people just wanted to see this toe-to-toe battle with Triple G and Canelo that people even his own fans didn't respect the way that he evolved in terms of footwork. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? I think if he does use that type of, use that footwork, throw a little bit more punches like a light fighter would versus a 175 pounder, like you said, I think he would do a lot better. I think movement and of course, not throwing everything like you throwing 100 miles per hour, like a break, you're throwing everything hard. It just makes the punches better. Implement some jab. And of course, like you said, implement the feint. Everything you said, I 100% agree. I think he needs to be more mobile, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, this is basic boxing fundamentals. You know what I'm saying? And when you're boxing a guy who's stronger than you, you don't try to knock out the guy who's bigger and stronger than you. You outbox the guy who's bigger and stronger than you. And if you're bigger and stronger than the guy, and the other guy that you're boxing may be faster than you, then the goal is to, not box with that guy. Your goal is to hurt that guy and hopefully stop him. So these are basic boxing principles that people understand. And the problem with Canelo is he's had so much success in recent times. He got away from the things that can make you successful. Sometimes the worst thing that happens to a fighter is too much success, because then they forget that they got to actually work hard to, continue to win. And I'm not saying he doesn't work hard in the gym, but I mean work hard in the fight, work hard with his focus, work hard with his brain, work hard with how he approaches the fight. These are different forms of working hard. Everything isn't just, hard exercises and shit. So I just think that he got a little lazy. I could just hit him with an overhand right and I'm going to hurt him and then I'm going to just stop him. And guess what? You can't knock everybody out.
I mean, he said he got tired. You know what I'm saying? So now, even now that we was talking about being, implementing more footwork, I think if you move more, and that was one of the that was one of Canelo Alvarez's cons, that it was his stamina back then. So now if he does move, he's gonna get more tired. He ain't used to really moving, especially in his last several fights. He's just been a guy that's staying on the.
Well, not to cut you off,
Mm.
but you don't have to move so much. Like, let's just say an example, like Floyd Mayweather or Sugar Ray Leonard, or that kind of excessive movement. You can just simply step around your guy. Use, you work around your guy by stepping around him and not standing in front of him. Canelo stood in front of Bivol and tried to blast him out of there. Let's just be honest. He thought that he was going to knock Bivol out. He didn't use lateral movement. And like I said, it doesn't always have to be a lot of extra movement. It could just be, I'm not standing in front of you. I'm working my jab. I'm working in a circle. He decided he was going to go straight to him. And he just found out real quick that it's not that easy at 175 with a real quality guy. That's the other thing. When you fight a real quality guy, it's a different thing. Like, yes, he knocked out Kovalev, but he knocked out an older Kovalev. Yes, he knocked out the 6'7" guy, or whatever the hell he was. But who is he? Who did he really like? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying taking nothing away from him, but we're talking about levels. When he fought a guy like Bivol, who had an extensive amateur background, and he's really walking around at that weight all the time, it showed. So, Canelo, yes, he's a fantastic fighter, but he has picked his fights in a manner that gives him the advantage, even when he goes up in weight. And this particular situation backfired, right? Because if we're fighting a guy like Bivol, or we're gonna fight the guy who just fought 2 weeks ago, the one who's knocking everybody out. What's the light heavyweight that's knocking everybody out right now?
Turbiev.
Better Beef.
Better Beef.
Who the hell do you want to fight, Bivol or Better Beef? I mean,
but then I'll say this. That if Canelo Alvarez will beat Beterbiev, then people will say, remember, Beterbiev is 36, 37 years old, the same age as Kovalev. Then people will say that he was old.
Nah, I don't think so, because this guy has shown scary punching power. Like, I think there was a fighter out the Mayweather club that sparred him and said, I got shot before. Getting hit by this guy was worse than when I got shot. I mean, we just seen what he did to Marcus Brown. We just seen what he did over the weekend to my man Joe Smith. I mean, he is obliterating. I can't even talk right now. Obliterating guys, I should say. Whatever. Yeah. He's hurting guys like really bad. Mm-hmm. So age ain't a factor with this guy. You beat this guy, you really beat a dangerous. That guy's a special guy in his own right. I'm not very impressed with his skills, but I'm ridiculously impressed with his punching power. It's something I don't think we've ever seen at that weight before.
So why age was a factor with Cove? Because there's people that mentioned the age with Cove,
because Kovalev has shown signs of decline. And he has history of not taking care of himself. Like, we all know that he had a drinking issue. We all know that he wasn't looking the same in his performances that he did at one point. So when you're showing a decline and you have the age to back up the decline, it's kind of like Eric Morales. Eric Morales already was old at 32 years old. You know what I'm saying? At 32 years old, he was already on a decline around the time he fought Danny Garcia. That's not old, but for him, it was old. You see what I'm trying to say? Sugar Ray Leonard was already old in his mid-30s or early 30s. Like, certain guys are old in their early 30s. Other guys can be older a little later. Bernard Hopkins fought till he was 50. People wasn't calling him old at 37 years old. He was still undisputed middleweight champion of the world. So it just depends on you. And I just think that for Kovalev, he was old. And if you can see, he hasn't fought since. So he obviously was at the end of his career. But this guy Better Beef has another, if he wants, another 3 or 4 years of boxing guaranteed, just based off of his performances.
That would be like 40, 42 years old.
I mean, do you see anything in him that shows that he can't compete with Canelo or any of these guys the way he's. I mean, he just
Nah,
not.
I think that the guys that he's fighting, even though he's gonna be the favorite. I don't think nobody in 175 is gonna be the favorite versus Beterbiev. So, you know, certain fighters get that 50-50 fight, get that. You know, he's just gonna be the favorite in that division, in my opinion. If he fights Suldo Ramirez, he's gonna be the favorite in that division. If he fights Bivol, I think he's gonna be the favorite in that division as well. Even though that Bivol beats Canelo Alvarez, but I'm just not because, you know, when it comes to fights, people be like, let's say with Floyd, right? They'll be like, oh, Canelo Alvarez was young and Floyd was old, an older guy that beats. Now he wasn't old, he was a skillful fighter. But if Canelo Alvarez would have beaten Floyd, then they would have said that Floyd Mayweather was too old. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't give I don't want to take nothing from nobody. Put it that way. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, boxing's a timing sport, right? Like you might be able to beat a guy now, but in 6 months, that same guy could beat you. Boxing's all about timing, and it's all about catching guys at the right time. But I just think that right now, at 37 or 36 years old, Beterbiev is still I don't know if anybody could beat that guy at this moment in time. And within the next 6 months, you put any of those guys in front of him, I just don't think that he loses. I just think he hits too hard. I don't think it has anything to do with his skills or anything. It's just when he connects, guys are going down, and they're going down quite dramatically. And I just think that the proof is in the pudding. He's beating some quality guys too. It's not like he's not beating anybody. He's beating some quality guys. I mean, you know, and he's knocking them out. You know what I mean? He's not just beating them, he's knocking them out.
Nah, he's a champion, and he get the almost respect, and Bivol get the respect for being Canelo Alvarez, and Canelo Alvarez the respect for what he's done in his whole career. I think one of the reasons, not only skillful wise, that Canelo Alvarez can move up, but he got a chin to move up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't remember the last time that he got staggered. It's been years.
For Canelo?
Yeah, since he got staggered. Like even staggered shipping up.
The person who staggered him was Miguel Cotto's brother, right?
Nah, it was I forgot his name. That one he was in 154, but early 54. I haven't seen not even Canelo Alvarez get staggered, bro.
Nah, Canelo Alvarez, listen, Canelo Alvarez skill-wise is a fantastic fighter. He's a solid fighter. A lot of people are hating on him because he's made certain detours, you know what I mean, as he improved. But you know, rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? With success comes hate, and you know, that's why people are gonna hate him. But you know, he's definitely a great boxer.
What you feel? Teofimo Lopez gonna be back in the ring August 13th, Las Vegas versus Pedro Campa. You know, not a high ranked fighter, but only lost one time. But of course, man, if you know the sport of boxing, gotta get back into the winning column. What do you feel about what do you feel about Teofimo Lopez and what he could do? What does he still have? Do you have confidence in him in 140 that he will become a champion or even an undisputed champion again?
I think Teofimo Lopez can definitely be a champion again. I think that he just needs to work on a few things that he made in there. I think his last fight, I mean, you said it. He had some issues going into that fight that people don't talk about often, right? If those issues was true, which they very, very well may be, because I've worked with fighters who's went into fights injured. I've done all of that. Like, this is something that really happens in boxing. The fans have no idea, and then they say, "Oh, you're just making excuses," because they don't know nothing. They're watching in their house eating popcorn, right? They don't know what's actually happening in the gym. So a lot of these guys go into the fights injured, but they still got to go. Why? Because they need that bread, right? They can't back out of a fight. You know what I'm saying? They're about to make 100,000, 150, 200, 250, depending on the purse. Who's gonna walk away from that? Even with a broken wrist, you're gonna say, "Fuck it, I'm gonna figure out a way." So I don't know what was the situation with his health condition, but apparently there was something there. Another thing was, I think he underestimated Kambosos. He thought he was going to knock him out in that first round. He went out there swinging crazy. It was a little bit out of character. And he obviously paid the price and lost that fight. And he was still somewhat competitive in that fight with all those things going against him. Before that fight, he looked fantastic against Lomachenko. And he was looking great leading up to Lomachenko. And he has skills. So there's no reason why he can't bounce back unless that loss really just traumatized him, and he can't mentally come back. But as far as his physical and everything else, and does he have the potential and the skills? Absolutely, man. I'm a big fan of him. You know, and I always said it, man. I think this kid is definitely still a big threat in any of them, you know, 135, 140, that whole little realm. He's a player in that division, in both those divisions. He just needs to make sure his mind right and his training camp is right.
Yeah, man. I don't think that loss demoralized him. And matter of fact, this dude is of what I know, he's isolated right now, man. Just training, Jersey, very hungry. He's a right now. He's currently 148 pounds right now. Um, so he hasn't blown up, you know, and things of that nature. So I think he lives to the game. Of course, there's certain things on the outside, like just like everybody else. You got family, you got and like in the gym, injuries and things of that nature that you need to handle and stuff like that. Growing pains. I call it like growing pains. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these fighters are very, very young that come into the sport of boxing, and even the people that they're coming in with, whether you're a coach, even a young manager, they also a rookie in this business. You know what I'm saying? So he's learning a lot about the business, just like a lot of young fighters is learning about the business. They learning about their surroundings, the leashes, who could they trust, you know. And boxing gives you a lot of, how you say it, especially when you become a professional at that level. Now you got a lot of time in your hands. You know what I'm saying? It's like Earl Spence said, yo, I had like 8 months. At one point, I ain't gonna stay in the gym for a long time. And what else? I only know how to box. That's the only thing I could do. You know, when you in the amateurs or you a young professional, you fighting 4 times a year, 5 times a year, you staying in shape within weight range. But once you become that 2 fights a year, 1 fight a year, you're like, now you're trying to find yourself because you never had the time to even learn yourself as an adult or as a young adult. Now you're learning about yourself. Now you got all this time in your hands, like, and the coaches, you know, some coaches be like, all right, that's it, you know, take a vacation, lay low. We're gonna contact you when you're ready, when we got to fight. Now, what happens? I think that's the hardest part of a professional boxer. That time where even the promoters like, lay low, we'll call you. And it's like you're still waiting on a date, and it's like 6 months, 7 months. And it's like, what as a coach can you tell, like Raymond Ford? Let's say he fought this past Saturday. Now he got a lot. Well, what was it, this past Saturday? Yeah, it was this past. So now y'all don't know when y'all gonna fight again. And let's say the next fight is in December, or maybe the first week of the first year. How can you keep him lined up, you know, stay hungry in that it's not even a short period of time, it's a long period of time.
Well, there's so much to learn in boxing. You know what I mean? There's so much to work on, improve on. So the goal would be, while we're not fighting, let's work on what needs to be improved in your game. Because once you have a date, then it becomes more of like we got to get the work. You know, we got the sparring lined up. We got the strength and conditioning lined up. We got everything, that we got the program set. So it's go, 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 go. But in that quiet time is when we can focus on teaching, getting you better. So when we do get a date, you already know what I expect of you in certain situations. And now we can start to execute it in sparring. Now we can start to execute it. So the goal is to have a fighter who's excited about learning and constantly keeping him in the gym, even when he's not fighting, whether that's 2 or 3 times a week. Maybe you don't got to train every single day like you're getting ready for a fight, but you can still show up to the gym 2 to 3 times a week, work on your craft, work on your skills, stay somewhat sharp, maybe spar here and there just to keep your skills tight if you want to spar, but you save the hard work for the training camp. And that's really the key. That's why a lot of like the older fighters and stuff, after a while and they start to decline, they're the ones who literally just lay on the bed until they get the date. And then they're like, all right, I got a fight date. I'm going to go out here, go collect this check real quick, right? And they'll say, oh, he just did it for the money. But the young, hungry fighters, the Shakur Stevensons of the world, the Devin Haney's and all them type of guys, they're in the gym year round, bro. Like, they might take a week off. Look, Boots Ennis, he fought on a Saturday. He's back in the gym on that Monday. He's working out with the guys. He's holding mitts for guys. He's staying in the environment. That's
But
one of his best qualities.
my for the cut short, but like I said, when they up to that level, that elite level, he's not at he got elite talent, but he's not in that elite level yet. But when he's in that elite level, you know what I'm saying? And he's probably still fighting Bruce Ennis, probably still fighting 3 times a year, maybe 2-3 times a year. But when it gets to the point where he gotta wait and they telling him, well, we don't know, you just gotta stay ready. Yeah, he's hungry, he's young, 23 years old, still he got the he's hungry, still staying in the gym, but that's now. But what happens when you're 28, 27, heading 30 years old? These guys ain't doing that anymore.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you work out?
Periodically.
Okay, so you're not a fitness guy. Well, a lot of people are fitness people, right? They go to the gym every single day. They're not getting ready for anything. They're not getting ready for fights. They're not getting ready for anything. They're simply in the gym because they like physical fitness.
Yeah.
As a professional athlete, you should like to stay in shape just for fitness. So there should be no excuse why a fighter is not showing up to the gym, especially when you're a professional athlete. It doesn't have to be the same kind of training that we do in camp. You could focus on mobility work. You could focus on some strength and conditioning work. You can show up to the gym 2 times a week and shadow box and hit the bag and leave. But you should still be actively keeping your body in some kind of shape. The problem with a lot of boxers is they don't even enjoy. They don't, and not only that, they don't even enjoy working out. They literally just know how to box. I've met professional fighters that don't even know how to properly do a squat. They don't know how to properly do certain exercises, but they know how to box, right? Because in boxing, there's a lot of just shadow boxing, hitting the bag, running, shit like that. But like
James Tony was just just
but these guys don't know how to exercise, right? Like exercise. Like you see guys in the gym, they got better form than professional boxers on the squat rack. So it's about the fighter finding some love in just staying healthy, physical fitness, and that comes with your team. That comes with your team. That comes with your team motivating you. I know. I seen
Garcia, I shadow box wasn't a shadow one. That's a good one. Hey, yo, Rapstar, what's good, brother? What's good, Rapstar, the voice of the UK? What's good, man?
But yeah, man, it's really up to the fighter to be self-motivated and for the team to keep him motivated. You know what I'm saying?
Man, yeah.
Like for instance, I'm gonna try to get Ray in the gym next week. Literally, he just fought Saturday. So, we're not getting ready for nothing, obviously, in a week, but I like to see him in the gym. There's some
What you want to see next for him, though? What you want to see next for Raymond Ford? And that was a good performance by Raymond Ford. You know what I'm saying? Doing the crossover, doing a little showboating, and I like the showboating. In the end, I did a video talking about, you know what I'm saying? I want people to win over the crowd instead of shushing the crowd and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? He got the skills and talent to win over the crowd. And tell us about that part, that sequence of what you was trying to say in that clip that's viral right now. What you was trying to tell him?
It's 22 hours.
Okay, well, the thing was this, like I said, Raymond Ford had a few tough performances. His last performance in Texas, a lot of people felt he didn't win the fight against, I think, Eddy Vasquez. I wasn't in the corner for that fight. So I knew what was at stake. I knew that if he lost this fight, it wasn't going to be good for his career. He's a young fighter. He's already had some controversial situations, but I know how talented he really is. So my goal was not for the fight to look close at all. And there was moments in the fight where Raymond kind of stopped using his jab. He kind of stopped using his lateral movement and kind of just stood in the pocket with the kid, Ricky Medina, that we just fought. And that's when the crowd went crazy. The crowd started cheering. Ah! We all know that the crowd can influence the judging. We all know that we're in his hometown. So what I told him in the corner was the only time they cheer is when you plant your feet and you let him hit you. I said, let's keep them quiet. You know, and obviously I use a little more vulgar language. You can go to my Instagram and see that, or see the fight on the zone. But my goal was keep them quiet, because when the crowd was quiet, that's how you knew Ray was dominating. That's how you knew that Ray was completely outclassing them. The crowd had no voice. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to take away the crowd's voice. I wasn't trying to win over the crowd. We were trying to win the fight, you know, and he did. He won almost every round on he won every round on 2 judges' scorecards, and 1 judge gave 1 round to the kid. I don't know which round that was, but at the end of the day, we wasn't taking no chances. So we took a page out of Floyd Mayweather's book and just, you know, hit and don't get hit. That was the goal.
I got a timing on that one. $1 trillion dreams was good, man. Good looking out for the super chat, my brother. He said, why are fighters only fighting once a year? How many fights should a fighter fight in a year, coach? What up, though, Punch? What's good? What's good? Thank you, Trillion.
How many fights should a fighter fight in a year? I think it just depends on the quality of guys he's fighting. I think that's what it comes down to. If he's having very difficult fights, then, you know, maybe just a couple fights a year. If he's fighting guys that he can easily beat, he can fight. I've seen guys fight 10 times in a year. So I just think that it comes down to the quality of opposition, how much punishment you're taking in the fights. Back in the day, when I was a real boxing fan, when I was, you know, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, guys would probably fight 2 good fights a year and fight like 3 tune-up fights in between that. These guys were fighting 5-6 times a year, but they wasn't fighting 5-6 hard fights a year. They were fighting 2 hard fights a year and knocking out the other 3 guys within a round or 2 just to keep their name in the mix circulating. So it just depends on the quality of the fight. You know, if you have a really rough fight, shit, you might only want to fight 1 time that year. It just depends, because you got to understand you're taking a lot of punishment and sparring in the gym as well, your joints and everything else. So it just depends, man. If you're getting hit a lot, I wouldn't recommend fighting too much. If you're not getting hit at all, I'd say fight as many fights as you can, you know, squeeze in a year.
Okay. Dani de lo mío. Dímelo, mi hermano, Dani. Good looking out, Trillion, for that, my brother. I'm gonna go getting back to that, because I was talking about that last week. I was talking about winning over the fans. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, as a coach, hey, the number 1 priority as a fighter, as a coach, get the W. That's understood 100%. I agree with that 100%. But also, I feel like winning, it's just not about winning and losing, but it's how you win and how you lose, in my opinion. And especially as a fan, I'm thinking as a fan, because I was thinking as a coach, I'm thinking just like you. Let's get this win, man. Let's get this win. And at the end of the day, don't matter about the crowd. The crowd ain't it's not in the gym with us and things of that nature. But also as a selling pitch to market your fighter, to promote your fighter. I believe the skills and talent of Raymond Ford and a lot of fighters that have that type of skills, you know what I'm saying, that type of style. I think it's good if they win over the crowd, is even in a fight where their opponent got the fan base. You know what I'm saying? How would you, because I like what Raymond Ford was doing with the you know, showboating a little bit, because you know why he could have done that, because he has the skills and talent, and the way that he was outboxing them, there's spots where he could do that. You know what I'm saying? So what's the thin line between entertaining and winning?
I think it comes down to the athlete that you have and the opponent that you have. I think everything in boxing is very individualized, right? So if I got a guy in front of me, if I got a guy who I know has no punching power, I'm not putting my guy in there to knock out somebody, right? My guy got no punching power. So we got to cruise to a victory with our skills. If I had Paulie Malignaggi, I'm not telling Paulie Malignaggi to go in the pocket. I'm telling him to work your jab, use your lateral movement, don't get hit, right? If I got a guy and we're fighting a guy who has no chin, and we know he has no chin because the guy's been knocked out a few times, then I'm going to tell my guy, hey, man, put the pressure on, go knock this kid out. So I just think that it comes down to who you're fighting. At the end of the day, you want to secure the victory. For instance, with Medina, could Raymond have stepped it up and knocked the kid out? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I didn't see any signs of him going out, but maybe if Ray stood in the pocket and sat down on some shots, he might have got him out of there. but I didn't see anything that showed me that we should take those chances. So for me, it was more important to cruise to a victory in that situation. But if there was like moments where he was stumbling or moments where he looked wobbled, I'd have said, Ray, he's hurt. Get him out of there. So I just think that it comes down to what is your opponent showing you and what kind of guy do you have? Who's the fighter that you have? What's
his identity?
Yeah, what can he do? Because you might fuck around and tell your guy to go knock a guy out and then he gets knocked out. And then what? You see what I'm saying? So you have to know who you got and you have to know who you're fighting. And you also have to pay attention to what's happening in the fight. If you remember when John Jackson fought Andy Lee, John Jackson was ripping some nice combinations, hurting him, had him hurt, went to go knock him out. Andy Lee went to the ropes, threw a check hook, knocked him out. Right when he was about to get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Because he just got careless.
Another example, the Linares and Haney, when his pops, Bill Haney, was saying, you go out there, knock him out. I think it was the 6th round, and you saw Devin Haney. He was pressuring Linares. We saw a different type of approach from Devin Haney. But
and he almost got clipped. And that's my point. And had he lost, will we be talking about Devin Haney right now? We'd have been like, he just got knocked out. Yeah, he's okay, but we know his chin, blah, blah, blah. So the thing about boxing, sometimes the game is forgiven, most times it's not. You know what I'm saying? And when you got a guy who gets knocked out or loses, you might never see that guy again. I mean, let's just be honest. You might never see the guy again. So as a career move, sometimes it's better to just get the victory. And hey, man, the crowd might not like you today, but, listen, Berlanga knocked out 16, 17 guys. He freaking goes to decision 2 times. He's a bum now. Everybody calls him a bum, blah, 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 blah. Now, I'm not saying that he's a great fighter or anything like that, but what I'm saying is the crowd will turn on you in a heartbeat. The crowd will turn on you in a heartbeat. And then the crowd will jump back on your side in a heartbeat. Everybody was ripping Raymond down to a T with his last fight. You a bum. You really lost to Vasquez. You garbage. You lose it. He won his last fight. He's been getting love. Raymond, you look spectacular. Great game plan. I love how you listen to your coach. Blah, blah, blah. They love him again. They hate you. They love you. They hate you. They love you. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you're getting paid. So you can't fall in love with the crowd. You have to fall in love with your career and do what's best for your career. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you got a great point. Samir said, is Coach Anthony win however you get it, or does it stress trying to look good doing it?
I'm gonna get a win however you get it, man. I teach boxing. I teach the sport of boxing the way I was taught, which is the sweet science of hitting and not getting hit. Of course, you're still gonna get hit. Of course, you're still gonna have rough moments, and of course, you're still gonna have to rumble in spots. But I teach guys how to box, and I'm not gonna get away from that identity just because the crowd wants us to go toe to toe. And but don't get me wrong. If a guy sends me a guy like Isaac Cruz. If Isaac Cruz is in between trainers and he comes to me and I'm coaching him, do you think I'm going to have him working a shoulder roll and sticking and moving? No. I'm going to take Isaac Cruz and say, go in there and dog that motherfucker out. We're going to get him in great shape, and we're going to get that motherfucker out of there with some body work in the pocket. It all depends on the fighter that I have. It doesn't really, go down to – you have to be able to train different styles of boxing. You got to know how to teach a guy smart pressure. You got to teach a guy how to fight in the pocket. You got to teach a guy how to box. And you also have to know what kind of guy you have.
Is that you know what it is? You know what it is? That we're spoiled. Boxing is heavily documented. Historically, we can see fights from 1930s and 1940s. So we seen fighters that implemented hit and don't get hit. Even Mike Tyson peekaboo style. It's hit and don't get hit, slip the punches and things of that nature. But his offensive, you know what I'm saying? It was incredible. But if you look at Mike Tyson's early career, he did have good defense. Roy Jones, Oscar de la Hoya. These guys implemented the sweet science, but the way they approached the game and their offensive, they were still exciting. So now it's like when I see in my opinion, when I see a fight that I know that you're showcasing like round by round that your level's above this guy. You know what I'm saying? All right, now as a fan, I'll be like, all right, man, show me something more. Just don't stay in the level of the first and second round. Let all right, get this guy out the water already. You know what I'm saying? Like Shakur Stevenson, look, you was talking about the same thing. Shakur Stevenson had to apologize before the hearing fight because a lot of people said he was boring. And he even apologized in his Instagram. But what happened the next fight? The brighter lights came up, hearing championship fight, and took him out. The next fight, back-to-back, Oscar Valdez, he dropped him, outboxed him, dropped him. Like, you don't have to, how you say it, knock him out, but you still look entertaining in the fight when you're showing that your level's above the fighter. You know what I'm saying? And Shakur Stevenson's not known for power. You know what I'm saying? But look at his last two performances with the two most credible opponents. You know, he showed out, and I think that in boxing, we're losing. We need more statement fights. Like, yeah, beat that guy or in your championship fight, but let the world know, make it a statement. Bam Bam, that was a statement performance versus Ring on Ravasa. Is Bam Bam known for extreme power? No, but he made a statement, and I think for this generation to enhance the sport of boxing or increase the bring the eyeballs or sustain the eyeballs in the sport of boxing, there have to be fighters. In my opinion, I understand y'all gotta get the win, but there's gonna be fans. We want to be also entertained, especially if you have the skills and talent and levels above your opponent to do so, because we're already spoiled. We can't change history. We're too spoiled. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's fighters out there that got the skills and talent, but still can entertain. Why we like Boots Ennis? He looks levels above his opponent, and he's showing up, and he looking pretty doing it, and he knocking the dude out. Like, hey, yo, my man, you can't outbox me, and you just can't stand in front of me. You know what I'm saying?
You got to be able to do it. That's the thing. You got to be able to do it. You know, like, you might be levels above a guy skill-wise, but you might not be able to get him out of there. And that's going to determine on you in the ring, hitting the guy and paying attention to him, to how he responds to your punching power. And for your corner to pay attention to how he's responding to your punching power, and for you to be willing to try to go for it. But if you're hitting a guy with everything that you got and he's not shaking, then you got to be very careful, because you can gas yourself out trying to knock a guy out. You try to knock the guy out, he don't go out. Now you tired. Now you got this guy whose levels under you whooping your ass now because you gassed out. So it's all depends on how they're responding to your power. So Boots Ennis, when he hitting guys, like when he fought Delorme, he hit him with a shot, he went to the floor. When Shakur Stevenson was hitting guys, when he fought that one African kid that everybody criticized him for, he was hitting him, but that dude wasn't going nowhere. So, you know, maybe Shakur just ain't have the punching power to knock that guy out. And maybe he felt something that said, if I take chances, I'm going to fuck around and get knocked out. So I'm just going to win this one, and y'all catch me on the next one. You know, and that's sometimes you got to, that's when you learn the game. And that's why the more experience you have as a fighter, the better, because you've been through these situations, and then you can evaluate what you did wrong and what you did good and how you can improve for the next fight. And that's what the game's all about, constantly improving and getting better. That's why you got young fighters who, you know, as they grow, they start doing better things. And, you know, the ones who don't learn from their mistakes, they end up losing. I can't hear you.
On my phone. So now they like to link these type of styles to Floyd Mayweather. We was talking earlier about it, and I hear it a lot. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know, Shakur and Haney and you know, let's say Raymond Ford, they fighting in the style like Floyd Mayweather. But in my opinion, that's not. I was a Pretty Boy fan, like a Pretty Boy fan, and his fights, he was taking guys out, championship fights, entertaining fights. You know, so when people say, oh, is the Mayweather, man, that's the Mayweather where he had to adjust, and he let the people know why he adjusted to this style. His hands is very highly documented that he needed to adjust like a great athlete does. Michael Jordan adjusted when he came back. That's what happens with great athletes. They know how to adjust with age, and if they have some injuries, they need to, you know, fog it up in some ways, and that's how he was so great at it. But Floyd Mayweather, I hear it so much that he was boring. No, Floyd Mayweather was not a boring fighter. You know what I'm saying? He was not a boring fighter at the age of what these guys was, 23, 24, 25, 20, that Corrales fight, no. Gotti fight, no. And even the Ricky Hatton fight, no. Like, Floyd Mayweather was not a boring fighter, and I just don't like the way that is linked. Oh, that no, this is boring right now. They're taking the pace from Mayweather. Nah, they ain't taking the pace from Pretty Boy though, because Pretty Boy was doing his thing.
Yeah, but he was. But I just think that when people say that, it's more so of the analogy of boxing, hitting and not getting hit. Like, for instance, I compare Shakur Stevenson to Floyd Mayweather, but not because of the style. I don't think they have similar styles at all, honestly. They fight differently. What I think that Shakur has is an alertness, a focus that Floyd Mayweather had, a will to win that Floyd Mayweather had, a competitive nature that Floyd Mayweather had. So if I'm comparing Shakur to Floyd Mayweather, it's not stylistically, it's more so the cloth he's cut from. He's cut from that special cloth of guys that just become Hall of Famers. And then you have to remember, Floyd Mayweather is arguably the best fighter that we've seen. I mean, yes, you're going to have guys who are going to say, he lose to this guy, he lose to Sugar Ray, he lose to Rob. Maybe, maybe not. We don't know, right? I mean, we can't put them eras together. But Floyd Mayweather is in the conversation with the greatest fighters in history. So we can't really be mad that these young guys can't, tie his shoes. Like, we're talking about a freaking legend, and the only reason why people don't want to give him his flowers is because he's a flamboyant guy who's still alive, who still looks young, who still looks like he's showing off a little bit. So people gonna hate on him. But when that man is dead in the future, watch how everybody talks about Floyd Mayweather, the greatest, this, that. They'll be doing tributes and all of that stuff. So, it's just right now, everybody not gonna show you love while you're still here. But Floyd Mayweather goes down in history books, bro. So it's gonna be very hard for anybody to top that guy. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, I agree. It wasn't really knocking Floyd or the other guys. It was really like fan basing, you know what I'm saying? How fans talk about it.
Roy Jones Jr., I remember when people used to say Roy Jones Jr.
He wasn't fighting nobody.
Yeah, I remember. Like,
even after James Toney.
Yeah, everybody who talks about Roy now, yeah, man, he was my favorite middleweight. I remember when you mother effers was saying, this guy ain't fought nobody. This guy's overrated. This guy is this. This guy is that. I remember when they were saying that about Floyd Mayweather. I remember when they were saying that about so many fighters in our.
And now Canelo.
Yeah, you feel what I'm trying to say? So it's like, I remember. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't act like y'all always show these guys love. Y'all show them love when they retire. But when they're active, y'all don't want to show them love. And that's because of people that's why it's hard to conversate with fans. And, no disrespect to the fans, because they're the people who make the sport go round. But at the end of the day, sometimes you look at the fans and you hear the shit that comes out their mouth and you're like, bro, a wise man told me don't argue with fools. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because it's like, I can't even have a conversation with a motherfucker, man. That's why Roger used to say most people don't know shit about boxing. And he was out one of the realest quotes ever spoke.
Mm-hmm. Nah, I agree. I agree. Even when fighters be calling, when fans call fighter bums and things of that nature and trash and all that shit, like I can have a conversation, but I said I don't take that serious. I don't take that conversation serious anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, not in this sport. I don't know. Not in this sport. Like, you could say lower opposition, rank 30, 40. And at the end of the day, these guys are fighting. These girls and gals are fighting to feed their family, feed themselves. They got a special type of heart and balls to step inside that ring. You know what I'm saying? Even the spar, even just the practice, the art. So, but yeah, with Floyd and the guys that they trying to compare in terms of style, people. I just say, man, at that age, 23, 24, when the lights was bright, Floyd was taking dudes out.
Yeah, listen, man. Like, if somebody told me right now who's better, Shakur Stevenson or Floyd Mayweather, obviously I'm going to go with Floyd. I mean, and I'm not just going to say that because I grew up watching Floyd. I'm looking at the skill set. I'm just looking at the skill set. I think that Floyd Mayweather had more tools. He had a more variety of offense. He had better defense. He was faster. I just think that he's just an all-around better fighter. He could fight in the pocket better. But does that mean that Shakur Stevenson isn't one of the best fighters today? Absolutely not. He is. If he's probably the best fighter, if not in the top.
I think he's one of the. I think he's one of the skillful fighters.
Like you can't say that kid ain't the truth. I just don't think he's better than Floyd. No disrespect to him.
I already think I think that would be a great fight with Gervonta Tank Davis and Shakur. I think it would be a great fight with Shakur and Loma. I think it would be a good fight with Shakur and of course Haney. But I got Shakur. I got Shakur winning all these fights, except it'll be hard. I even think that he could. I think he'll beat Loma as well, but that's going to be tough. But I think he'll beat Loma as well. The Gervonta Tank Davis is kind of.
I have a gut feeling that Shakur Stevenson is going to retire
undefeated.
Undefeated. I have a gut
like
feeling.
Andre Ward, like early retirement undefeated.
Yeah, I don't see Shakur losing. I just don't. I mean, listen, I could be wrong. But I just think that he's one of those guys. He's gonna go down in history like with the Andre Wards and the Floyd Mayweathers as another undefeated fighter. In my opinion.
Andre Ward used to get the same critique, but then look what he did to Chad Dawson. Look what he did to Kovalev. They used to call him boring, but when the lights was bright and it's time to show up, he's gonna show you that dog. He could be defensive, and that's what I mean. Like boxing as a whole, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not speaking at no particular fighter right now, but as a fan, I hate. Don't you hate when people be like, "Yo, boxing is dead"? Always arguing about boxing is not like back in the days and stuff like that, like arguing like you're an old man and ish like that. I feel like we have great talent in the sport of boxing, from the smaller weights to the heavyweights. Like I feel like boxing skillfully and the personnels in boxing is in great precision. But I just don't see when the lights are bright. There are statement fights. There are fights that you be like, wow, I want to go back and check that fight out. I don't see the classic ESPN type of fights. You understand? And that's when we look back and we look at all the fights. When we remember Hearn and Hagler, we could just watch the first round and that's it, call it a day. Just the first round gets you. You know? We remember these fights. We're not remembering a lot of the fights right now. You understand? Like, yeah, I think that we're gonna remember the Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, the last fight. I think that was a big finish. That was a big fight. It was a roller coaster ride. I like the Jamel Charlo and Brian Castano performance. We love the Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano performance, especially that 12th round. You know, that build boxing, whether people like it or not. Yes, the sweet science, hit and not get hit, but that's not what build boxing. That's not the memorable of boxing. The memorable boxing was the fight, was the moments. And that's what that's what capture the imagination of the boxing fans and the world. So we need these type of fighters that's going to sustain that type of love for boxing. And we're not getting these type of performance yet. We have a lot of skillful fighters, and that's why I love Ben Rodriguez performance. That's why I love Jamel Charlo's performance. That's why I love the fight with what I just mentioned, Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, the run with Canelo Alvarez to become undisputed, knocking on his opponent out to be undisputed. I think that Earl Spence is doing a hell of a job. That fight with Ugas, that was a good outing as well. We need these type of performance in the sport of Tyson Fury. Remember Tyson Fury? They used to be calling Tyson Fury boring. A guy that just, you know what I'm saying, staying on the outside, you know, giant, you know, tippy-toeing around the ring, and now he's knocking dudes out. And now Tyson Fury is better. You could say now you look at Tyson Fury like, nah, this guy now is a deadly puncher now. It's a whole different type of game. And the more that Tyson Fury does that, you see his stock went all the way up because he's knocking dudes out. He's entertaining.
Yeah, there's no doubt that this is entertainment. And that's why you got guys like Jake Paul who can make more money than fighters. So, you know, there's no doubt about it. This is entertainment, but it's also a sport. So you're going to get both. You know, you're going to get guys who play the game as a sport and then other guys who know how to entertain. And you don't always have to knock a guy out to be entertaining. If you look at Floyd Mayweather later in his career, when he became Money Mayweather, He wasn't really knocking guys out, but he knew how to build a fight. And building a fight, the stuff that happens outside the ring can be just as entertaining, if not more entertaining than what actually happens in the fight. How many times have you seen a Floyd Mayweather build up where you're like, oh shit, you know what? I'm gonna watch this one, and then the fucking fight is whack, and then he builds it up the next fight, and then you're like, yo, but this is gonna be a good one, and then it turns out, you see what I'm saying? So
yeah, he mastered the art outside. He mastered the art.
So if you're not a big knockout artist, you may have to market yourself better and learn how to sell a fight. Learn how to say, yeah, I'm not a big puncher, but I'm gonna knock your ass out. See what I'm saying? Now people want to watch it. You know what I mean?
Jose, he says, so you want everybody to be a KO boxer? Nah, that's not what I'm saying. I just said it. I just said, if your levels above your opponent and you're showing that round by round, I would expect a statement. If you're outboxing a guy and we're watching and we're like, yo, this guy ain't doing shit with this dude, bro. He's just outboxing. He's doing everything he want to do with him. By the time that 7th, 8th round comes, I'm like, all right, take him out. By that 8th round, you're like, is it going to go to 12? Come on, dog. Come on. That's how it gets. I'm not saying knock out. I just explained the Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez. He ain't knock out Oscar Valdez, but it was entertaining throughout the round. He showed power. You don't got to knock him out. Put him on the floor, stagger him, give him an 8-second and stuff like that. It's just that. You know what I'm saying? Show that your level's above in every in terms of fan, in terms of entertainment. I'm not talking about like
then guess what happens?
Huh?
Then guess what happens though? Then you get the guy saying that he ain't fight nobody that good. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, but Shakur ain't getting that type of criticism. You know why? Because
Boots is.
No, I don't even think.
Now, let's talk about Boots for 1 second. Let's talk about it for 1 second. Yes, Boots hasn't fought nobody that great. But he has fought a few names, right? But he is dismantling these guys who aren't that great. He is showing that, yes, the names might not be the quality you guys want them to be, but I'm also not letting them stick around for 12 rounds. I'm knocking these motherfuckers out. I'm blasting them out of there. I'm showing y'all that I can knock out a guy like Thomas Delorme in 2 rounds. I'm showing y'all I can knock out the kid who fought Mikey Garcia. I can knock him out in 6 rounds. I'm showing y'all I'm that much better. Instead of the people saying, wow, they're saying, you ain't fought nobody.
I think
what if those guys would have been going 12 rounds? What if Boots would have been dragging them out for 12 rounds to get his rounds in?
They treat him like Edgar Berlanga.
You know what I mean? Now people are going to be like, oh, well, it took you 12 rounds to knock out Delorme. Then he knocks out Delorme in 2 rounds, and they're like, but Delorme's washed up and he's a bum. You can't make people happy in this goddamn sport, bro.
I don't hear it, to be honest.
Period.
To be honest, I don't hear a lot of hate with Boots Ennis. I love Jerome Boots, and I've been talking about Jerome Boots Ennis for a long time. Even when people thought that, it was like, yo, you like prematurely, you know what I'm saying? Because I say he's going to be the next Roy Jones Jr. I said that 3, almost 4 years ago on my channel. You know what I'm saying? And people thought I was crazy. You need to stop prematurely these guys, you hyping dudes up and they haven't done nothing. And I know I got an eye for talent, but I think Jerome Boots Ennis, I don't think he get a lot of hate. I think that if any hate towards Jerome Boots Ennis is because people are already saying that he's ready for Earl the True Spence or Bud Crawford, or the same people are saying, oh, Boots Ennis is going to beat Earl Spence, Boots Ennis, Bud Crawford, and right there, that's when you want to people's going to out to discredit Boots Ennis.
Well, but let's like a question. Do you think that the Manny Pacquiao who fought Ugas, do you think Boots can beat him?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that Ugas? Do you think that Boots can beat Ugas?
I think Boots could beat anybody in the welterweight.
Okay. So who are we gonna put him in there with? Who's the better competition? The better competition is the Errol Spences and the Crawfords of the world. That's why those names are getting brought up, because when you bring up Danny Garcia, do you think that Danny Garcia can beat Boots right now? Mm-hmm. Not too many people are going to say Danny. No. Do you think that Ugas can beat Boots? Not too many people are going to say Ugas. Do you think Pacquiao, before he retired, can beat Boots? So if these guys can't beat him, we need Keith Thurman, we need Crawford, and we need Errol Spence. There's nobody else.
Yeah,
there's nobody else.
I still think that the Boots and the Virgil Ortiz will be a hell of a fight.
Now that's the fight, but of course they're not going to make that fight because they don't want to build those guys up for a super fight later on. So,
I do feel that's it, that he's in that type of level, and this what it is. Also, when you understand how they brought up, if you understand their amateur background, you understand when they started fighting, who's coaching them, their build up to become a professional, then you understand how ready they are. You feel me? That's why I said a long time ago when Teofimo Lopez was going to outbox Lomachenko. Why? Because the dude was doing his thing as an amateur. He won the Olympic trial. He went to the Olympics. He was a boxer. He was not this knockout artist. And I say he was going to outbox Lomachenko. People thought I was crazy. The only way that he'll beat Lomachenko if he knocks him out. Nah, the dude could box. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the thing is, let's keep it real. A lot of American fans do not follow the fighter's journey. Back in the days, we used to follow the fighter's journey. You know what I'm saying? The Olympics was big. We used to follow them. You know what I'm saying? That's why Oscar De La Hoya became big in the Olympics. Andre Ward, we knew him from the Olympics. Floyd Mayweather from the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? Mark Breland is known because of the Olympics, the 1984 team. You understand what I'm saying? So now these guys, they don't want to follow the journey of that fighter. There's a lot of bitter fans. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason. You know, that's why they was just looking at Edgar Berlanga. But let's see if he passes the first round. Let's see he's passes the first round. Then he passed the first round. At that same fight that he passed the first round, he knocked the dude down 4 times. You see, he ain't the real deal. And then it's going down. Yeah, he's still winning. Remember what I told you? That, yeah, it's win and losing, but it's how you win and how you lose. He's getting booed. He's getting disrespected and by a lot of people. He still haven't even lost. Edgar Berlanga.
Oh yeah, he's getting it bad.
You know, because remember,
I think the reason he's getting it the way he's getting it, a little bit has to do with how he's carrying himself too. Like, you know, he's a little bit talking that talk, and he's not walking that walk. You know, since he stepped up in competition.
Yeah,
and I would think that that was rubbing people the wrong way.
I'm just saying that. You know, just like earlier when you were saying, and we were saying that, yeah, a fighter should get the win by any means necessary. Well, Edgar Berlanga has been getting the win, but in the end
of the last fight, he looked good to me. I thought he looked better than he's looked.
His jab looked way better.
Yeah, his last fight was actually, to me, one of his better performances.
You know,
despite the biting, which I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why he did that, because at that moment in time, there was nothing going on for him to even want to bite the dude.
Yeah.
I don't know why he did that, but despite all of that, I thought he boxed reasonably well.
But that's what I'm saying, because in my opinion, like I said in the beginning, winning and losing, yeah, is one thing, but for me, it's also how you win and how you lose. He's winning, but the more that he wins, the more he's getting booed, the more they're discrediting him and disrespecting him, because it's how he's winning. Now look at Isaac Cruz. You pointed him out earlier. Isaac Cruz lost to Gervonta Tank Davis. Yeah, his loss is the best thing that ever happened in his career. His loss, even it didn't drop him. It actually elevated him, because how he lost is how he showed up to that fight, and he did not, and the fans understood the effort of Isaac Cruz. You know what I'm saying? He might have lost, but they didn't feel like he got defeated.
Yeah, but the effort that he put is because of his limitations as far as the other attributes that you need in boxing to be a complete boxer. He had to do that. It's like Mike Donna and Floyd Mayweather. Like, imagine if Mike Donna tried to go jab for jab with Floyd. Like, he was going to get outboxed. He had to go that route. That's the only way he can make it competitive. But when you got a guy like Gervonta who has a skill set, he used his skill set, you know, and I think that people also were surprised by how well he did. And when you surprise the crowd, you win the crowd, you know, and he surprised the crowd. The crowd was like, oh shit, this motherfucker's a lot better than we thought. We knew he was okay, but we ain't know he was this good.
Yo, what you feel about ESPN not having Jermell Charlo and Devin Haney on their pound for pound, 2 undisputed champions?
Devin Haney and Jamel Charlo's not on the pound for pound?
Not on the pound for pound.
So who's their pound for pound?
Shit, let me see. Everybody still got it here. That bullshit.
Yeah, let me hear the names they decided to use.
I got you right here. Hold on, where this thing at? The hell this damn pound for pound? It's this devilish pound for pound list. Here you go. Terrence Crawford number 1, Naoya Inoue number 2, Earl Spence number 3, Canelo Alvarez number 4, Tyson Fury number 5, Alexander Usyk number 6, Artur Beterbiev number 7, 8 Dmitry Bivol, 9 Vasily Lomachenko, 10 Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah, I'd probably take out
Lomachenko
and Lomachenko at this moment in time and replace him with those two guys, only because of the inactivity of Lomachenko, and because Bivol's only win that really is of any significance is Canelo, and that could have been just a stylistic thing, where I think Jamel Charlo has proven himself to be worthy of that top 10 list. He's been winning, and
he's the king. He's just that's it. He beat everybody.
Devin Haney's undisputed. So I would probably take out, if I had to take out anybody from that list, it would either be Beterbiev, Bivol.
Not Beterbiev. He's three division world champion.
That's true. Okay, so we'll keep.
I'm sorry, not 3 division. He got 3 belts. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll probably take out. I would probably take out Bivol and Lomachenko right now. I don't think Lomachenko's been doing anything of recent time to still be on there, and I don't think that Bivol quite deserves it over the guys that we just talked about, which is Devin Haney, and I just don't think Bivol deserves it yet. Even though he beat Canelo, I still don't think he fully deserves it over those two guys.
Now this is my take, because there's people that's saying, well, it's pound for pound. We don't take pound for pound serious anymore. You know, everybody got an opinion. Now, this is what I said, and nobody touched base on this. And I said this. I did a video about it, right? I said it's not about just that it's an ESPN pound for pound. It's people who's actually voting on that pound for pounds. Is the panelists. The panelists are right, or most of them are writers. Analysts, I think that Timothy Bradley is one of them, but I don't think he has what I'm about to say right now. These writers, not that people are just brushing it off. That's just an ESPN pound for pound list. If they're snubbing dudes out, that just a pound for pound list. Could you imagine the same writers that also votes in your Hall of Famer, how these fighters could get snubbed by them to become Hall of Fames? That's how I saw it. You know what I'm saying? Because that ESPN list is made up by writers, by panelists, the same writers that got the power to vote in Hall of Famers. So if you don't respect Devin Haney undisputed now, if you don't respect Jamel Charlo undisputed now, when they retire, are you going to snub them to become Hall of Famers as well?
Yeah.
And that's how I look at it.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, man. I mean, I think that, I don't know, man. I don't know how they come up with these lists. You know what I'm saying? But based off current times, I don't see how Lomachenko could be over those guys right now.
But you could see it whenever you get the time. You can go to ESPN and then you go pound for pound, and then you could go all the way to the bottom, and it has all the writers that picked the pound for pound. So then you see how everything was tallied up.
I think that's why people don't give a shit about it no more. It's like, dude, I've seen some ridiculous pound for pounds over the years, and this ain't the first bad one that I've seen. I've seen other ones that was just as bad, if not worse. So that list isn't really terrible to me. But Devin Haney and what's the other guy? Oh, and Charlo definitely deserves that. I mean,
because if they're not on the list, then you're telling us that undisputed now is watered down,
right?
And
if that's what they're saying, then undisputed shouldn't mean nothing no more. I mean,
then if undisputed don't mean shit no more, then you know what? And I was saying this. I said, damn, I gotta apologize to Leonard Ellaby, because Leonard Ellaby be like, he's only caring about putting butts in the seats. You know what I'm saying? When he said Josh Taylor, he ain't bringing nothing to the table when Josh Taylor's undisputed. So now you've seen that even quote unquote pugilists of the game is snubbing pound for pound. So man, by next year, belts really ain't gonna mean nothing. And then fans shouldn't be mad. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate. But fans now, you got to understand this wave that is the industry that's really not caring about the belts. You know what I'm saying? These belts now is just a promotional,
It
it's
should
just a
really,
promotional thing to get the network contracts and get these championship fights for the networks.
yeah, the whole boxing business is just all over the place. I mean, honestly, man, we all know there should only be one belt, one champion per division, and that'll eliminate all the bullshit, right? If you're the best at 135, all roads should lead to you. There shouldn't be three guys to choose from. You know what I'm saying? Before that one person gets determined to be undisputed, you should be the champion, and that's it. And then we'll eliminate the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, that's how the fights would get made. If there was only one champion, you know what I mean? But unfortunately, you got all these other guys, and then guys vacate, and then they move up in weight, and they duck each other, and it's just a big. And then they can call themselves 3, 4, 5-time world champions, but they ducked a lot of guys on the way up. It's just it's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
The only way that it'll change, to be honest, if the fighters change their mindset. If the fighter says, let's say for example, Earl Spence says, you know what, the fight that the fans want to see is me and Bud. That's and whoever wins is going to be the best in boxing. That's the way they putting it, is going to be pound for pound number one. I don't need to pay these sanctioning fees. Y'all already know who we are. I'm not giving you millions in sanctioning fees. So I'm gonna drop my belt. Hey yo, Bud, drop that shit. Let's make this fight happen. And that happens, that's when you know that belts don't care, because at the end of the day, that's the best fight anyway.
Yeah, eventually that might happen. We'll see, but it's just how it's been for so long. It's gonna be hard to just change it overnight. You know what I mean?
It gotta be the fighters. Not, let's say like now, like Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather saying, "Oh, these belts don't matter no more." Yeah, why you didn't say that shit when you was active? And why you the guy? You could have started the whole shit up. But you took your WBA super title as well when you got elevated as super WBA. So you know what I'm saying? And Oscar De La Hoya saying the belts don't matter like before. So now all these legends are saying it, but when y'all was active, come on, man, the WBA came about. It was still a bunch of saying.
It feels good. It feels good to win those belts at the end of the day.
I know, yeah. And that's what we want to keep as boxing. It still got to have some type of little morals to the game. But now there's no belts. Fighters ain't fighting like before, and man, I don't want boxing to be a full blown circus now, because the fighters are the only one that gets disrespected. Nobody disrespects the people that wears the suits, the hands in the cookie jar and shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yo, tell everybody where to get your information. Coach Anthony, the best coach, the best trainer in the world. Fighters, y'all better not knock on this dude's door right now. Y'all want to become champion? Y'all want to become multiple champions? Y'all want to get all the belts? Y'all want to become undisputed? You get this man right now.
Yeah. Appreciate you, man. You can follow me on Instagram at Coach Anthony. I got a YouTube channel as well where I teach boxing. Coach Anthony Boxing. If you guys are interested in learning boxing, I got a website, CoachAnthonyBoxing.com, where I sell courses teaching boxing. So, I got you covered in all those angles right now. But yeah, that's how you can find me. Everything Coach Anthony, CoachAnthonyBoxing.com.
That's what's up, man. Good looking out, man. We're about to be out of here, man. Tomorrow, happy hour Thursday, karaoke night. You want to join us karaoke night, man?
Maybe, man.
You want to sing along? You want to sing a song, sing a rap, or whatever, man? It's karaoke night, happy hour Thursday. Get a little drinky drink or something like that.
Yeah, hit me up, bro. I'm ready.
All right, brother. Take care.
Thank you for having me.
All right, brother. Y'all, everybody on the chat, man. Love y'all. God bless. On to the next, man.